Jeffrey Dahmer soaked in blood. The Unabomber blowing up. Waco, Texas, and Heaven's Gates. Aliens modified, meant from apes. JFK shot in the head by the CIA. Bigfoot and the Mothman. Son of Sam talking to dogs again. Witches, ghosts, and goblins. Mysterious noise and hauntings. Dark arts in the skull and bones. Most celebrities are probably cloned. So if you're feeling all alone, crack a beer and get stoned. I welcome you to the podcast Strange Brew. We're here to entertain you. We're here to entertain you.
It's about to get strange. In the summer.
The horror began in June 1984. Los Angeles was under siege. Death waited in the dark at the hands of a man they called the Night Stalker. After a 14-month reign of terror, he was finally caught. It was only then that his true identity was discovered. His name, Richard Ramirez. The Night Stalker killed at least 13 times, 13 people who were awakened in the night to face death. At least 15 others survived his brutal attacks.
I didn't particularly care for people.
In a rare interview, Ramirez refused to discuss his own crimes, but had this to say about serial killers.
A serial killer comes about by circumstances and like a recipe, poverty, drugs, child abuse. These things, contribute to a person, to a person's frustration and anger, and at some point in life, he explodes.
Perhaps for Richard Ramirez, that anger and frustration turned to rage, which he in turn took out on his victims. His killings were so sadistic and brutal that even experienced detectives were shocked.
He took a woman in her 60s and stomped her to death with his foot, leaving an imprint of a shoe on the side of her face. From that to just executing somebody upon walking into a room after he entered a house. He strangled, he used a ligature, he used a tire iron on a young girl, beat her, left her for dead.
Will your anger subside if you had to wipe up your mother's blood? I couldn't finish it. I had to leave my brother to finish that chore.
Why on earth would you have hurt those people? Why did you kill those people?
No comments. No comments. I cannot answer that at this time.
The horror.
That smirk is wild. Fucking wild. Anyways,
You're already laughing at it.
Because they're so stupid. I got like the dad jokes are going down the road of just being abnormally dumb, and like that's what dad jokes are supposed to be, right? No, am I wrong? Are you supposed to just be dumb? All right, so what? So I gave my handyman a to-do list, but he only did jobs 1, 3, and 5. But he only does odd jobs. Nothing else. Don't you boo a dad joke.
Welcome, everybody, back to the show. I'm one of your hosts, Tomcat, a.k.a. Tom Thompson, the Raptilian, and we are back with another serial killer.
Serial killer.
Yes.
Why was there a laugh? Was that me going?
No, it was. Remember the show Elf? Remember
the show or the movie?
The show Elf. ALF.
Oh, the show. Oh, sorry.
Creature with
Alf.
the fucking
Yeah.
juice noz,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Alf. Not elf.
Yes. Alf. Yeah, I guess
Yes.
because it's like it's some like alien life form or something like that. Yeah, I think it is alien life form.
Oh,
Yes,
cool. I didn't know that. Is that just? Are you guessing or is that?
I'm guessing, but I'm pretty sure that's
okay.
it. I'm pretty sure that's it. I used to love that show. Used to love it. Classic, like 80s.
I don't think I ever really. I maybe seen an episode. Maybe.
Oh,
I can't say I ever sat down and actually watched that before.
So this is our second attempt at the Richard Ramirez episode because Billy got reined in and we created a Patreon episode out of it. So it's time this comes out.
You did not post
audio.
that.
I'm going to post the end. Remember we talked about it's going to be on Patreon.
Well, I'm well aware, but that's still like that was wild.
Out. It's coming
okay.
out.
All right.
We talked about we
well, you got to subscribe to
the
Patreon
way
to hear
back
that.
machine.
Yeah.
Billy discovered the way back machine.
Damn it, man. I hate that the shit I do, and it's like we get into these podcasts and I get excited and you're drinking, we're having fun, and then I kind of forget the camera's on sometimes.
This will be
I'm just talking to my buddy, and I'm like, oh, that's shit that just went on the internet.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I have no control over it because you post
as
the
bad as
most
me.
ridiculous nonsense.
Watching documentaries for Patreon about some very controversial stuff. So it should be pretty exciting. I decided after the first time we attempted this, we're gonna do 2-parters. It only makes sense for some of these big serial killers where we want to, after I feel like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, people do teeter out a bit. So
and
I
seriously,
want
even me, man, hour and a half. I'm like, that's enough. I'm 19 beers deep by now. I don't want to go to bed.
Somehow just keep going, man. I like when we're doing when me, Anton and Aaron did the Jimmy Savile episode, we're like 4 hours and I was still going off about how he's a wizard and his cigar is some sort of wand that he uses. So,
okay.
But yes, we were talking about Richard Ramirez.
Who are you?
Just a guy that murdered a bunch of people.
God damn it.
That's there's gonna be some obviously video aspect to this for all the audio listeners, but this is gonna be a lot of fun. I want to do Richard justice. Not justice. He got his justice technically, and Billy is dying currently.
Fucking allergies, man.
So we didn't do this already, like the first time. It was because Billy got rained out. So it's funny, and it hasn't rained there for a week, and now it's raining again.
That was the last time it thunderstormed. And hey, go on the Patreon and listen to me like literally shit my pants on camera because there was we found out where it was, by the way. So thunder hit. It was like max 50 feet away from here.
That's crazy. And I'm
gonna closest I have ever heard.
Yeah.
Thunder in my life, like or lightning. No, thunder sound. Lightning's the actual thing.
Thunder, lightning, very, very lightning.
But that lightning hit like so close to here. It was unreal. Like I've never jumped that much from a storm before. And funny enough, my dogs were good. They're just like, yeah, that's fine. Billy's scarier.
So funny. Yeah. So this will be a lot of fun. So we're trying to still do this even though it's raining there. And we haven't dived into serial killers for a bit, so I'm very excited for this.
Richard.
Talking about Richard Ramirez, all the ladies love him for some reason, and he also I
love Satan.
He loves Satan. We all
big
know
fan.
this.
Big
He's
fan.
A big fan. He's
Yeah.
a big fan.
What the
Nothing
hell
wrong with
is
being a
wrong with
fanboy.
Yeah. So let's just get into it. Let's get into the boy Richie. So big deal. Death comes with the territory. Let's hear it from his own words. Let's hear him say it.
As Richard Ramirez is led to prison on that November day, he has one final comment for the media.
Big deal. Death always went with the territories. I'll see you in Disneyland.
Instead, Richard Ramirez went to San Quentin prison. His strange story continues.
I love narrators because like I'm a person that will always like pick up like the little shit. And like if you watch that back and like you think of like how that narration went just over that video, it was like he's like, I'll see you all in Disneyland. He's like, but he didn't go. Instead, he went to prison.
Well, what is Disneyland other than a child trafficking site that like an amusement park where children go missing and then they take trips on cruises to Epstein's Island to go snorkeling? So who knows, man? Who knows?
Well, if they went snorkeling, man. Maybe it was worth it. Maybe they enjoyed themselves for a minute.
Snorkeling into the depths of Jeffrey Epstein's ballsack. Whoa. Calm down.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I wouldn't understand how you're so like you still got like a little straw on the side, but it's like
ew. Yeah, it's like sounding, but you stick a straw into it, and then you gotta like suck to come out that way. That's disgusting.
No, that's not what I was saying. That's gross.
So that was Richard Ramirez's reaction to his 19 death sentences. You maggots make me. It's almost like you maggots make me sick. I will be avenged. Lucifer dwells within all of us. You know, he actually had more of a rugged voice, but.
Nailed it.
Ricky attempts to be tough. So Los Angeles is the murder capital of the world. It takes a special little twist to capture headlines in the city, where by autumn in 1983, 5 random slayers were at large and killing independently of another. In the summer months of 1985, reporters found their twist and filled the front pages with accounts of this sinister Night Stalker, a sadistic home invader with preference for unlocked windows and a taste for savage mutilation. So everybody out there like Billy that chooses not to lock his door, especially now in Canada, where people are literally being invaded in their homes, in their country in general too, but in the middle of the day. So lock your doors. Billy never used to, and he better
I still don't. I still fucking don't. I have so much, like, again, another thing that you probably shouldn't say on the internet. I have so much pent up fucking rage in me that, like, I can't wait for the day that it's super justified. I am so excited. Like, that motherfucker is getting everything I have.
Okay.
And like, way past the point of it's under control. Like, he's done.
I don't think it's so many opportunities to wear my Richard Ramirez shirt, so I'm wearing the Night Stalker shirt with him with the pentagram on his hand. I don't know if the wife would let me wear it in public, but I do wear some shirts that are very controversial in public. So who knows? Who knows?
Hail Satan!
Every day you get dressed, like, do you have to like run it by Chelsea first, or?
Some things, especially like my "fuck communism" shirt, because it's controversial, Some blue-haired kid that just got out of college is like, "Hey, it's gonna be good for us, They're not gonna kill hundreds of millions of us like they've done in the past, So, welcome back. I have a delicious drink. This is called the Richard Ramirez specialty.
Are you drinking Clamato juice? Is that a beer with Clamato, or are you just drinking a Caesar?
It's a Bloody Richard.
Oh, it's a fucking. You're drinking a Caesar.
It's made out of old lady period blood.
Are you actually drinking a Bloody Caesar though?
I am drinking a Caesar, yes.
Or Bloody Mary, sorry. Oh,
what is the difference?
Caesar's Clamato juice, and then Bloody Mary's tomato.
But Clamato juice is tomato juice.
No, it's not. No, not even fucking close.
What?
Not the same. Clamato juice. That's clam. That's clam juice. It's made from clams.
Ew. Is this
Clamato juice.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
And then bloody like tomato juice. Like, when you get like the little cans or whatever, tomato, like how thick that is. That's what people in the America drink. They'll drink Bloody Marys. Like, it's exactly the same, but with like that thick fucking tomato juice.
All right, well, I'm gonna.
We watered it down. We're like, this is much more palatable. I'm drinking a Caesar too, actually. By the way,
that's hilarious.
There you go.
I'm drinking an extra spicy bitch.
Oh, I got OG original.
So yeah, this sadistic home invader. As story broke, the stalker had 3 weeks of freedom left, but he went on a bet. He's bent on making every moment count. He would claim the minimum of 16 lives before his bitter end. So let's bring it back to the past of Richard Ramirez. Let's talk about his life, right? In El Paso, Texas, afternoon, the airless, heated inferno in the mind of a young boy. The dust swirls around his shoes as he walks home from school. He looks down at them when he suddenly, tiny lights and sparks appear before his eyes. He sighs, knowing what will come next, jerking, falling, wetting himself and biting his tongue. Blackness will consume him completely as he falls. He is not able to recall later where he was or what happened. Future serial killer Richard Ramirez is about to have an epileptic seizure. It is February 1968, and he just turned 8 years old and feels all alone, even in a crowded room.
You got what videos.
The seizure dog thing.
Not that many people, like enough people know it that it was even on The Simpsons, but I feel like when I meet people, they don't know who Flight of the Conchords is. Like, do you know who they are?
No, they're
other than what? No, they're New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
But
I know.
They're the shepherds that came to America for like it's just stupid comedy, but like I love it so much. They got the epileptic. They do like a light show for all the dogs in the audience that have epilepsy, and they kill them all.
That is funny. And if for all the audio listeners, we're hoping to avoid this, but if you hear the soothing rain, just enjoy it. It's calming.
Can you hear it again? Is it starting to pick up?
A little bit, not as bad.
Okay.
It just sounds like somebody's taking a piss in the background, so that's gonna be fun. Just imagine blood, everybody. Imagine blood pouring out.
That's actually exactly what's happening. Girl back there just won't stop pissing.
God's period blood. Blackness will consume him completely. As he falls, he will not be able to recall it later, where he was taken or what happened. And as a child, Ricky was a small but very bright. This came as great relief to his mother, Mercedes, who had worked at the Tony Lama boot factory, where she mixed chemicals and pigments that dyed the leather boots. Between the poor ventilations and smells, she feared for her unborn final child would have birth defects, and she quit in her 5th month. Yet parents will inject themselves. Sorry, everybody. People are like, "Whoa, don't say that." It's like, well, a little bit of that.
Poor man. I'd become a serial killer too if that was my. Like, he's got a haircut like my mom did in the 60s. He looks like a woman in the 60s, but he's a man at the same time. So he was dressed literally like a girl at the time. It'd be like getting your school picture taken today in grade 8, and you got like long, luscious blonde hair and your makeup's done. And they gave him a knitted sweater from grandma that's got all these grandma put some fucking work in that sweater though, for sure.
She?
Oh, for sure.
It looks like you drew it though.
You know how hard that would be to like
special
knit
ed
that?
Kid drew it.
That'd be unreal. Like if that's a knitted sweater, like I'm super impressed. That is even still today.
Face,
today, not too many people can knit that. That's unreal.
That's it's a weird outfit he's got on, and I don't know, there's something about him and his face, and he looks happy there. Normal
He's
boy.
Like, I got rid of my girl haircut, and now mom put a bowl over my head and cut around it, and then some parts grew longer. Wait, no, go to the bowl haircut. Why is what's up with right over the I guess that would be his left eye.
Yeah.
Why is his hair doing that?
I don't know.
His hair's it's conjoining with his eyebrow.
It's an AI photo that essentially what's that called when they clean it up?
That's not real.
It's a real photo, but the AI made it better quality.
Oh, gotcha.
So we can really see in the eyes of a child that turns into a serial killer.
He's got that that's a sadistic ass smile. Yeah, he's mad there. Oh, I think he's younger in this one. I think he's older in that one.
Who knows, man?
The one where he's smiling, he's younger, and the one where he's fucking straight faced is when he's older. He's like, I'm wearing grandma's knitted sweater in high school. I'm pretty pissed off right now.
When he was born, she was greatly relieved that he was not a special boy, but he was a special boy.
I'm so happy you aren't one of them.
They have to be a Mexican accent. Cannot do one. It's El Paso.
Ramirez was in El Paso?
Yeah, he was. He's a Mexican, man.
No, but
he's like
from El Paso.
Latino. Yeah.
Actually.
Yes.
No shit.
Yeah.
No, hombre. Yo. See, me and the boys, you know what we did? We went down to the Home Depot, and lots of money there. These rich motherfuckers don't know shit.
And Home Depot now in Canada is like I call it Home Depot because it's like filled with Indians. It's like everywhere.
Fucking Indians, I don't know what they're doing, and they're like, "I buy." Oh no, we're not. No, no. You just triggered something at me. We're gonna cut that right there. Thank you.
That's fine. Oh, hombre, why you make me wear so shitty sweater? I kill people now. You make me so angry with this shitty sweater you make me wear, Grandma. He's like smoking cigarettes at 7 years old.
Mamacita, we can't be doing this. we can't be wearing stuff like this in the village.
You're going into another accent. I don't know what that was. Something else.
I was trying to do a before puberty. Mexican.
Hombre, I got
that's what I mean. It's not just higher volume. It's almost like a different because they don't have like that rasp that we always do when we do the Spanish accent. Like it's like it's same with French, right? Fromage.
Oh yeah.
In the baguette.
So he had friends, according to the Biography Channel's documentary Notorious. They later were stunned into shock and disbelief when the young man grew up and done the things he was accused of. He had loving parents and was the youngest of 6 children. Being epileptic made him a little sheltered in his parents' eyes, but they did their best they could, and his siblings looked after him. Traditional Catholic and family proud. They were a proud family. You know?
No, they weren't. No.
I'm pretty sure that's him at a church. He's praying.
Yeah. That looks like he is not praying. That looks like a man that was forced there saying, we do nice things sometimes. And then he went back home, and because he didn't sing the right note in choir, he got beat over the head with a belt. And his dad's like, I did everything I could. I was a good father.
Oh yeah, we get into that too, but realistically, right? He's not praying. He's not praying to Jesus.
At the end of the day, there is not one fucking serial killer in this world, in my opinion, anyways. And if I'm wrong, I'll never know I'm actually wrong. But I don't believe there's one serial killer ever, or killer in general, that was ever actually raised with good parents. Because if they were, that is not how your fucking mind would go.
Ted Bundy.
No, he wasn't.
Bundy yes, he did. He had a good upbringing.
No, he's
one of the only ones that had it was weird because he was raised pretty decently and stuff like that. Like, well,
what I'm saying, that's not what I'm saying. I
want to talk about him at some point.
I'm not saying that in general. I'm saying in general, like, you can lie and say whatever you want to. Why am I still smoking in my mouth? You can lie and say whatever you want to the press, but like at the end of the day, like that mindset.
You said porn did it.
Fucking be there. No,
he said porn. Porn made me kill people.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe he was guilted and he didn't want to say his mom because he loved her, and he's like, "You fucked me up, mom, but I love you."
As much as he's been overdone, I would actually. Ted Bundy is just that interesting that I would kind of want to talk about him, and he's like such this like chauvinistic kind of like I don't give a fuck handsome man. Like he was his own lawyer, you know. So Julian Ramirez, who worked for the railroad, in many later interviews, he said that Ricky was a good child until he came into his early teens. But neighbors tell a different story. They claim that Julian
got the tea.
Julian abused and beat not only his wife and his children too, sometimes using a fucking baseball bat.
Right there. Right fucking there. He was raised in a great home. Fucking he got beat
with a baseball bat, you know?
Fucking knew it.
That's crazy to beat your kids with a baseball bat, man. Like that's some wild shit. First up to bat, we have abusive Barry Bonds. So weird.
And that was one, I never wanted you. Two, I never wanted you.
It's his motivation. So weird. So so he would hide.
I feel sorry. I'm sorry guys that were adopted.
It was all the women that I did that or knew of that were from foster homes were always the craziest. So
yeah, no shit, they were never loved.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And they never knew what love was, right? You know.
That's why I'm worried about you. I get worried about you sometimes. And like that guy's like, I didn't move to New Brunswick because I'm like, this guy's like, I'm gonna be known as friends with him, and I'm gonna get fucking. He's gonna just go shoot up a fucking postal office. Or
Don't
something.
say that. That's not gonna happen. Shut up. I've I was the bringer of my own doom, so to speak. My parents could have done a little better, but yeah, maybe they shouldn't call the cops every so often. That would have made me a little better.
That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
That was weird. Anyways.
So Ricky began hiding from Julian in the local cemetery. You know, he'd be like one of those guys on TikTok that's like cleaning off the graves. Have you seen that? This guy's like, look at me, I'm gonna polish this grave up. And there's someone I think that did a video, and then this like demon comes out. It's like there's legitimately people that do that on TikTok. They'll go to like graveyards and clean up the graves and be like, oh, this is HITLE.
I don't want to finish cleaning this. What
He's
the
in Argentina.
Asshole? My name was Helena.
Everyone knows he died in Argentina, or he went to Hollow Earth, if you know what we're talking about. So yeah, sometimes sleeping there to escape the anger of his father. You know, all his friends were ghosts and stuff. He's hanging out. It is hard to know who was telling the truth, but soon a huge factor came into Ricky's life that would change him forever. About the time that his cousin named Mike, who came home from Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. You know, I actually like
getting old.
Yeah. The experience was all Ricky wanted to hear about. He began to hang out with Mike at Mike's shabby apartment every day. And because Mike and his lovely wife named Jessie, who had tried to make a home for them, his parents allowed him to spend time there. What they didn't realize until it was too late that Mike was showing Ricky more of Vietnam than a teenager needed to see. Mike had been a Green Beret in Vietnam and taken many Polaroids of the people he killed in the most violent ways. You know?
Get him. No,
Look
I
at
didn't say
these.
that. That was impulse. not actually where I stand, if anyone's curious. Anyways, carry on.
You know, we only stand on humor and theory and speculation and that's it, you know. So, you know, he's like, take a look at these Polaroids. He's pretty crazy, man. He's damn good. I had to go kill him. You know?
This Mamacita, he said he was a man. He was no man.
So he told Ricky he had to rape the women and shot children for fun. This was his fun time. He's like, we're going down, you know. We're just, you know, welcome to Vietnam, everybody. We're here fighting the communists. You know what? But we're just going to go to Ho Chi Minh's trail. We're going to enjoy ourselves. Oh, look, there's a child.
It's a body, buddy.
You know, oh, there's a woman. Take off your clothes. You know, that's craziness.
That's exactly what happened. Probably they were dancing down to that exact song too.
Come defend America from communism on the other side of the world. As much as I think communists won the war, and that all countries in the Western world are encroaching, maybe the whole world, a one world communist order. But at that time, that was an unjust, stupid war because they're like, oh, afraid, and then they lost anyway. So it's not
yeah,
really. So as innocent people went off to die for no fucking reason, and then or come back severely damaged as his cousin was. As he taught Ricky how to smoke pot, he's like, you just suck it. He told him stories more vivid than any other movie or book. This was real life, Mike said, and he had pictures to prove it, and Ricky loved it. These pictures fascinate him. It wasn't just the naked women he dreamed of, it was the killing. The blood in the photos was something he wanted to see in real life, and soon that wish would come true.
It's spotty too. Don't do that one.
It's all good. It will work out in the audio. So sorry that for some reason all the sound effects cut out on the video, but
sorry, I thought you were doing it thinking it like I thought it wouldn't work at all. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
You underestimate my power.
I do, because I've seen your power. How much? Just joking.
So Mike had come home like many vets did, and to a empty welcome. Right? They're like, there's like protests and all that
No
stuff.
one loves me anymore.
Thrown at them because they went to fight in just war. And obviously, there's all these college
Mhm.
kids that were probably communists in their own right, being like, "Why are you over there?" Well, realistically, they shouldn't have been over there in the first place. But
Yeah.
the Vietnamese got them right. If you see some of the traps they made, whoa, man, pretty crazy shit that they thought of. Guerrilla warfare. Gotta get him where it hurts. Just
That's why I
following
don't lock
traps.
my door. You think I don't have that shit around?
You have one of those things that comes down from the trees and then just smokes them in the.
No, shut up. Don't tell them where it is.
Billy has a massive ball. So all of his time smoking, he essentially used all the tinfoil and then kind of just lit it on fire. And eventually it accumulated into this massive ball. So if you try to come into his home, you're chased like Indiana Jones by a massive cigarette ball of all the tinfoil. I actually knew a kid that did that.
I'm
Parents.
I'm trying to tell people not to stop giving away my fucking secrets.
I actually knew someone that did this. Parents smoked so much that they took the tinfoil and they would just make a ball, they light it on fire, make a bigger ball, and it became like it was hard as a rock.
to
kind of
morph
form
it. Yeah,
it. Yeah, and it was like a literally solid ball of metal.
that's hilarious.
It was crazy. I know. I'm like, this is how much your parents smoked.
That had to have taken like 10 plus years to do that.
Well, we would go over there and they'd be like, the kitchen table would be like, never smoke, and then I ended up smoking. So that's great. Thanks, people.
Wow, you really saw the worst of the worst, and you went, no.
Yeah. Oh, my uncle died in his deathbed because of lung cancer when I was 8 or some shit, 7 or 8. Told me not to smoke, and didn't help me. But he's in hell now because he molested people. So I think he deserved the lung cancer.
Yep, and that's for sure a feel-good story. Yep.
Oh man.
Anyways.
Power Christ compels you. Jesus. The psychological effects and changes in his stateside economy were a great deal to bear, along with a stranger who inhabited his wife's body. That's what he thought, I guess. He developed
Do
a drug.
have a fucking lazy eye?
I think you do. He
Do
developed
actually?
I don't know, man. You just have crazy eyes.
You knew me
Like
forever. Is this one lazy?
I get like that when I'm like drunk or like I'm high. My one eye like droops down lower than the other. He developed a drug habit in Vietnam and picked it up when he got back home because they were getting on the soldiers like heroin. They gave him acid and shit, all sorts of stuff, trying to ease off the pain of war. Mike showed Ricky how to smoke, and to impress him, Ricky started to do it more and more, stealing to finance his low life habit. His parents became worried seeing that Ricky's change he was going through. It was obvious, I'm sure, when he was coming home completely stoned out of his mind after sitting around smoking joints all day with his cousin. I know that all too well, man. I remember so many times I'd smoke weed. My mom would like freak out on us. And I remember one time specifically, we're like, we're thinking that we're smoking in the garage and somehow it's not going to smell. And then she got home and we could hear her pull in. The garage door is like down. It's like she freaks out. And I remember sitting on the ground. I'm like 12 or some shit, maybe 13. I'm like just laughing as she's yelling at me. I was like, I didn't know what he was doing to me.
I've never met someone that got caught more frequently than you.
I know. It's so crazy.
You have no idea how to hide what you're doing.
No, I just never cared, man. Like, I just never cared.
You did, because you got in trouble, and you cared as soon as she rolled up. Even me at your fucking house, we're smoking in your fucking room, and then she opens the door, and I see your fucking panic flush your face. And I'm like, I am a bystander right now. I'm like, am I in trouble right now?
So unemployed and unmotivated, Mike was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Although they had no one at the time to tell them that, his wife nagged him repeatedly to get a job and change his life, but he was becoming an addict. Argument after argument ensued while Ricky sometimes watched. Finally, one day she went to see what they were doing and started another round of complaints. Can you complain to me about my drug habits as a Latina?
Oh, man. You try to be man. Oh, that's Chinese. Okay, one sec. Hombre is the male one. And then female. Can you do a quick female one for me so I can hear it in my head?
I'm a Latina, you know that. Stop arguing with me, man.
Don't come at me. Come at me. You, no, you low life garbage. Garbage human. Every day I come home, you come home too, and I find out you weren't even at work. You didn't even go. You do drugs.
Excuse me, let me get the lemon pledge. You're very dirty.
And lemon pledge.
So she's complaining, and Ricky just sat there. He was like, whoa, don't know what's going on.
I'll never get married.
For some reason, this picture, it's Richard Ramirez with a baby. He's, I don't know, a teenager, like, I don't know, 14, 15, maybe 16.
He's eyeing it like he's gonna fucking kill it.
I know, or eat it or something.
Me.
Like it's like a steak or something. He's like,
that baby looks like me.
It kind of does. Is that you?
What the fuck? That looks exactly like my baby pictures.
Oh no, man.
My mom did grow up in Mexico. I don't.
Oh shit. Maybe you knew it, man. There's people. When
did he go to prison? What year was it?
I did 1986, 7, something like that.
I missed it by a few years.
Yeah, I was watching Kill Tony, and there's a guy that's claimed to smoke joints with which Ramirez didn't know at the time, and I was like, that's crazy. Imagine just that story being like, yeah, I smoked weed with like a massive crazy serial killer. And there's tons of people that have done that too, right? They like don't realize till after.
No, like, I knew that guy.
Old guy in his 70s, and it's like pretty crazy. And he's like, oh, there's my friend on the news. Is that Richie? That's Richie. It's such a weird story. I'm like, whoa, that's fucking crazy, man. So nuts. It kept coming up as I was researching this. Like I kept seeing stuff about him, like people joking. Like so weird. It's like the universe knew I was gonna start talking about this psychopath. I hope everyone's enjoying the calming rain as we do this. I hope it soothes you.
I heard it pick up. Too.
It's fine. It's all good. It is what it is. The audio will be edited
10, 15 minutes till it gets brutal.
It's fine.
So
we'll deal with it. It's fine. I think it's as bad as it's gonna get.
Yeah, I hope you're right. That's not what the weather app says, but I hope you're right.
Fucking 2 times in a row this happened. Wild. Billy does not have good luck. He needs to start praying to Jesus. But instead of
I've been praying to fucking Allah.
Buddha.
I've been doing it. Let's try the next one. What's up next?
So Mike lost his control. They're wasted out of their mind. And he lost control. He took out a small revolver and he shot his wife point blank in the face, murdering her right in front of a young Richard Ramirez.
When you say young, how old?
I think he was like 15 or 16, something like that. Pretty sure.
That's pretty young.
I think he was like 13 actually. So 12, 13, and seeing this and the blood splattered on his face. She flew She flew back across the room, landing on the bed. Like that's pretty intense. Like point blank range is like right in your mug, and then just blast your face off. And then he was stunned, and he was euphoric. He was like, oh, and he like came in his pants. It was the ultimate high.
I don't think he came. Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Hard as a rock.
That's funny.
Well, Julian.
Go back. That's the coming face.
This one? Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like. He's like,
yeah. So when
is he actually sorry to cut you off again. Go back to that picture again.
Yes.
Why is he pressing the chains against his stomach so hard?
Because he's crazy, man. That's why.
Is he trying to flex? No, that time that's what a wild photo to get taken in handcuffs with.
He just doesn't
He's
care.
Just like leaning right into it. It's like, you get fucked, y'all bitches.
He never cared. He had no remorse. That's what's crazy about and that's why you loved him so much. One of your favorite serial killers, you stated. We did originally an episode on Richard Ramirez Bed, an hour way back in the day, probably the 4th, I think it was like the 5th or 6th episode we ever did. It's on Patreon now because some guy gave us 4 stars and said he didn't give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts because the Richard Ramirez episode was gone. He's like, "Where's Richie Rich?" Because we kept calling him Richie Rich on it. He's like, "Where's Richie Rich? Where is he, man?" And I'm like, "It's on the Patreon now, man."
Don't you ruin our rating over that?
I know. Go join the Patreon, man. Support the show. Actually, it's very cheap, and there's a ton of content on there. So when Julian took Ricky back to the apartment to get some things, after his cousin did this, he was now in what Ricky called jail, but it was more of like a mental ward waiting to be sentenced. The bloody bed and the stillness of the room shocked him. "It was death," he later told an interview. He quickly went through Jesse's purse in the front room while Julian opened the window. Oh, so that's crazy. So he's going through her purse and she's dead. I guess her body would be out there now, but her purse is probably on the ground. And so he's going through it probably in this high, right? Loving it. And he opened the windows to let the air in. Ricky probably felt many things at the time. He admitted to knowing the women very well, but there was nothing he could do. He escaped to his cousin Mike's house. His escape to his cousin Mike's house was gone. Things were about to change. School had become less and less interesting for him. He was bitterly disappointed when he was kicked off the school football team because of his epileptic seizures.
What happens at football that you can't have epilepsy for?
Because you spaz out.
All the crowd just starts flashing their phones. They're like, "Die, Richie!"
Yeah, maybe that would have been better though.
Let's have a light show for Richard Ramirez.
What do you think his number was? Like 666. Here comes Richard Ramirez. His jersey number is 666. He says he loves Satan.
This person to ever have 3 digits, but cool.
Hail Satan. I love Satan.
Man, Alex Jones really loves Satan. That's pretty crazy. So this was a crushing blow to his young ego at the age of 13. So when his cousin shot his wife in the face in front of Ricky, he was probably like 12, 11, something like that. Like, that's crazy. So
wow.
He went to the big city of Los Angeles to spend the summer with his brother, Ruben. Ruben, who was the sandwich.
The sandwich guy.
Sauerkraut on that bitch.
He's like, this guy at the time used to go into those Mexican restaurants. He'd order sandwiches and they'd be like, "This guy's nuts." And they'd tell all their friends, he'd be like, "This guy put fucking sauerkraut on the meat." And like everyone's laughing at him. And he's like, "This is my sandwich. Call it a Reuben."
He loves Marmaduke. We're bringing back to Marmaduke. Oh man, it's so funny. Richard Ramirez is a maniac, but like he is definitely.
No, is it Marmaduke? No, yours is what, Marmalade?
Marmalade. As I kept saying, his name is Marmalade. So weird, man. Throwback to that. So Ruben was a great influence on Richard, considering he was a burglar and a heroin addict. So it's like great. He's already smoking weed,
That's
and
the
smoking
boy.
cigarettes. Now it's like, let's get him into heroin. His main goal was now to learning how to steal without getting caught so he could get high. When the summer was over, Ricky went back to El Paso reluctantly. Living in California had been a blast, doing whatever he wanted, whatever he wished, whenever he wished. He knew his parents weren't going to be happy with his pot smoking and stealing but no shit. By the time that he had grown to see Julian as something of a tyrant, he didn't want to follow his rules. Julian, for his part, was bitterly disappointed in Ricky had turned out. He had to teach Ricky to be honorable after beating him. Just kidding, but that's literally like, be honorable. And he's like, while he's beating him with a baseball bat. Come on.
It's funny.
Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing here? So to educate himself better for the future, Julian, then to give him a better future than what he had on the railroads. But Ricky seemed to want none of that. After one explosive fight, Ricky finally said, "No more," and went to live with his sister Ruth and her husband. Guess like a basic Mexican name. Just guess.
Like Jesus.
No, something a little more like, Why
are you doing the Italian
Roberto.
Roberto. Okay.
Roberto. That seems Mexican to me.
Why is it, every time we do accents, like it's like we can't nail it? We are 2 of the world's worst. He knew his, what was that?
He knew his parents would be shooting heroin. I don't know if he was shooting heroin at that point, but
Mom and Dad gonna be mad at me.
I got track marks on my arm. Unfortunately, Roberto was not a good influence on Ricky either. He had bad influence after
What do you know? What do you
influence.
fucking know?
It seems like every Mexican is a bad influence.
Dude, I'm telling you, honestly, no word of a lie. Like, I hear my grandma's stories of living down there at the time. Like, my grandma grew up in like a super sheltered community, right? So they're Mennonite and they're living in like the Mexican communities. And what my mother did to people in Canada, she never would have had me because she would have been in fucking jail. Like, my mom kicked at the age of 11. She kicked my fucking aunt off a horse and buggy, and in her words were, I was so hoping the horse would stomp its head.
Would your mom appreciate
she would die?
Telling her
She doesn't care. She doesn't fucking care, man. Zero remorse. She's like, no, fuck you. Like, that's a lot of Mexicans.
I think the government's being
zero fucks.
Yeah, I do think the government's being paid by the cartel to bring in people and stuff. Like, I think that the government is so corrupt, right? There's probably so many politicians and state senators, especially within the states, that are like, I'll take some money, sure. You bring them in, man. Bring them in. Coming.
Which is funny too, and it's funny to bring American politics into this too, because at the end of the day, and I don't have proof to back this up. This is just my own kind of thought. I genuinely think Mexican people are probably the worst people in the world, for violence.
Whoa.
All you motherfuckers are gonna pay.
And I'm not saying y'all aren't good. I'm just I'm one of you. I'm white, but I'm still one of you, and that is my background. But just knowing so much about how those communities are, I'm you guys are the most dangerous fucking community.
It can't be worse than the fucking rat worshipping, monkey worshipping, pooping in the street people.
Hands down, way worse. Those people at least have some sort of religion to try to be good.
The idol worship should never be allowed.
Doesn't matter. Same. It's at least something. Mexicans are just look after yourself. No one's looking after you. Kill everyone in your way.
What's that satanic?
Hail Satan.
I love you, by the way. Don't anyone from Mexico listening to this. My mother grew up in Mexico. I love Mexican people. They're awesome. Just generally, that's how I feel. I have no fucking facts to back that up at all, but maybe.
Feelings. So he was a neighborhood peeping Tom. And Ricky became, I guess his brother or his another cousin or whatever, Roberto, or his his cousin or his aunt, is whatever. They're her husband. So he and Ricky, it's fine. He and Ricky prowled around the streets by night, looking into the master bedrooms of nearby houses to see undressed women. If Ruth knew, she did not let on. So she has stated that Ricky was a raging insomniac who never got more than a few hours of sleep at night during this period, and still seemed to be unending source of energy. There were other drugs by the time, cocaine, occasionally drunken nights on rum. Ricky went to school but didn't really care about what happened there. His grades went downhill, and for the first time, he began to read about Satanism. It seemed that Jesus, the figure he had been brought up to believe that would love and protect him, had done nothing kind for him. Jesus did nothing for him. So he chose to...
Jesus didn't help?
It didn't help him at all.
Not even a little bit?
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it, son. I'll just have editing to do on the audio side, so don't stress it. Testicle box. It is what it is. People watching, just enjoy the soothing sound of rain. Just imagine you're in a rainforest and Richard Ramirez is smelling the back of your neck.
It ain't going to be soothing in a minute. It's going to be obnoxious, but
it's all fine. Keep it where it's at. You're good. We're going to keep it here. Okay. We're going to keep it here. Phil. So So he would drink rum, doing cocaine, who didn't care about school. Fucking Jesus was messing him around. He's like, Jesus ain't there to protect me. My dad's beating me with a baseball bat. Will tell me to love Jesus. So I don't know how that's good working out. He had a new master, Satan.
Hail Satan.
Satan never hit me with a baseball bat. What was that?
It's Hail Satan. It's Hail Satan.
Oh, I didn't hear any of it. None of that came through in my end.
Let's see. It's very loud in my ears. No,
There's nothing there.
Something's happening with this shit.
Yeah, your soundboard's fucking backwards. See, that just begs to ask the question, though, is if, do you think, here's a question for you. Are you still in your same Caesar, you fucking bitch? Anyways.
Boy.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you fucking loser. Anyways, who the fuck is Ruben?
Oh, the sandwich. Yeah, what the hell's going on with the soundboard, man?
Anyways, do you think, hypothetically, if Richie's parents were Satan worshippers, that he would have grew up to be a good guy? Maybe. Maybe he would have been. See, you're listening to something that I can't hear. Oh, I can't hear you at all, buddy. You're gone. Nothing. No. There you go. Oh, there you are.
I was trying to mess around with the cord. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, didn't hear any of it. I don't think anyone did. So at least I got my point across. Gone. There's nothing there.
So weird, man. I don't know what's going on with this. Gotta send this thing back. So he had a new master, right? Satan, and it should be noted that Ricky never joined the Church of Satan. He was an individual practitioner. He did it on his own. Ricky had
I'm a self-contractor. I'm not employed.
No. So Ricky had gotten a job in a high school at a motel that gave him access to a master key to all the rooms. His burglary skills were consistently getting better. He was going room to room. He was taking what he wanted, making sure that the thefts and his shifts did not coincide. So he's literally like he's working at this motel, and then stealing.
Holiday Inn?
I don't know what hotel. And he's
you
trying
didn't
to
get it. All right.
You got a master key, but he's trying to make sure it lined up to his own shift. He watched the woman coming and going from the motel. His fantasies lingered on the beautiful ones. It had been reported that he snuck into rooms, hid behind heavy drapes, and in the bathrooms, watching as women undressed and groomed themselves. So, and this is where he gets he's a sneaky boy, right? He's very sneaky. Sneaky.
Like drapes? I love these. One letter off.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And he's like, can you not see his shoes sticking out from underneath it? It's like that. It's in Scary Movie.
Why is that like the third joke I said in a row that just went over your head?
I heard what you said.
Okay.
I know what you were throwing out there.
All right.
It's like a Scary Movie where he's like behind the couch and she's like, I can still see you. And he's like, shit. And he like goes to behind the curtain and there's like hooks sticking out.
You're right there. Come out here, you dumbass bitch.
His fantasies finally spilled into a dark and violent assault on the hotel guest, sneaking into women's rooms with the master key. He surprised her from behind, tied her up. He was
sorry. What's the master key
for the motel? It's
sorry. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a dummy. Yep, that's on me. That one's on me. Yep.
He was raping the women when her husband came back into the room unexpectedly. Crazy, shocked. He grabbed Ricky and began to beat him, punch him in the face repeatedly before calling the cops. Ricky was extraordinarily lucky. The man and women did not want to press charges after he walked in to Richard Ramirez raping his wife, unless maybe that wasn't his wife.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that would make sense. That'd be the only way that makes sense. Because how in the world would you not press charges?
I know.
And even I'm wondering that's a weird little loophole in our system anyway. Is like even if they were doing that, like wouldn't there be like not an option to press charges? Like it's just happening anyway because you did it. Like
I know
that's really weird. That's up to the person that called the cops.
Yeah, it's very strange. Very strange. You know,
He handed me a couple $100, so I'd let the serial killer go.
That's weird. That's weird.
Someone's raping my wife? My God. Like, that was... Could you imagine that? You walk in, someone's raping Chelsea.
Yeah, you're like...
And you actually got to the point of even calling the cops. Like, that point would never come. You're done. You're that's it. And now I'm calling the police like 2 days later after I contemplated for a while how I'm going to get rid of this body.
I know. That's how I'm like, I don't know how you wouldn't, but that would mean having to supposedly come back to so you want to press charges. That would mean having to come back to El Paso, something they did not want to do. I don't understand. And Ricky lied his way out of
they were visiting. They were probably visiting or something.
Yeah. So
and
he lied his
like,
way through the whole
guy.
thing.
Yeah.
He told everyone the woman wanted to have sex with him, and they were having consensual sex when the husband burst in. It would be funny if he was correct, but that's like the mentality of some people. I was like, she wanted it. She was wearing a short skirt. She wanted it. You know, and it's just like, so a lot of these newcomers seem to think they're just creeping around, staring at women.
Dude, trying to build this, right?
I don't know who I'm talking about. It's fine. He not only escaped prosecution, his family believed him. Ricky was, he was like, you know, he's like, it's fine, man. He was relieved, you know. He knew his life was waiting outside El Paso and moved back to Los Angeles when he was 18 years old. Just 18, a young Richie, out on the prowl.
Like he looks like even from day one, like he looks not right.
It's just like happy-go-lucky guy.
Nah, that's not a happy-go-lucky guy. Whoever the fuck made that.
That's his shitty teeth, man. He had like awful breath.
It wasn't that bad.
This is Richard Ramirez in 2024. It's like, let me get a quick selfie.
He's got his smartphone up, looking the other way. He's like, someone walked in on me. I go because I was in the girls' washroom, but why is he not wearing pants?
Look how young he is, man. I can see why. Like, I don't know. Like, it's this. I was gonna say that sounds gay.
He has the
exact. Women would find him attractive, kind of back then.
He has identical features to fucking Michael Jackson.
How weird he does, man. It is
like
weird.
He's got the same jawline, same nose. Well, old Michael's nose, I guess, but
that's ignorant. It's ignorant.
Or I guess young Michael, however you want to look at that. But yeah,
stop being so ignorant.
Ignorant. I forgot about that. I haven't seen that in a while.
So funny. So let's.
So ignorant.
Can you sing? Can you sing "Highway to Hell" for me?
I'm on a highway to hell. Highway. You can't do any other lyrics. You can't do the music. You can't do the music as long as the beat at the same time because the lyrics overlap the beat slightly.
Do you know any lyrics?
If you say 2, I'll know the rest of the song.
I don't know. I don't know the rest. I don't listen to.
I just need 2. Like, that's how my mind works. Highway to Hell lyrics. Oh, yeah, living easy. Okay, now I'm back to the stream.
Where did he go? What the fuck happened? Oh, my God. Why? Where did Billy go? He must have clicked out or something. Oh man, this boy this just doesn't seem to get his shit better. It was a lot easier when he was in the studio right next to me. So wherever he went, he's coming back. Don't worry, everybody. He's there he is. Whatever happened there.
I was like tabbing back and forth. So it's the living easy, loving free, season ticket for a one-way ride. That one.
Highway to Hell.
So it overdoes it. as a white boy, you immediately want to do Sweet Caroline with the bum, but they don't. The Highway to Hell goes, bum, bum, ha.
That song's about a pedo, so it's all good.
Sweet Caroline?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was like, what, 30 and
princess
she was 14? Yeah.
Yeah. California offered many delights for Ricky, but not so much as drugs in the beginning. He took LSD and studied Satanism. It has been for years he had been heavily influenced by Anton LaVey, the author of the Satanic Bible. And it's funny because Anton LaVey did say in the Satanic Bible, I have it right. It's here. He does say to like to not kill people. Like it's in there to like you shouldn't kill animals. We don't believe in sacrifice. So that's why there's like the nice version of Satanism that Anton LaVey created. I got it wet, so it's all like mangled, but it's a little handbook of Satanism. But that the Luciferian people that really believe in the real Satan, that's a lot different. There's different sections of what they call Satanism. You know?
That's fair. And yeah. Fair.
Yeah. So Ricky would drop a hit of acid and read, feeling more and more that Satan was his protector, which is crazy because the whole idea of this book originally is the idea that like it's more of an atheistic religion or church, whatever they want to call it, and he just believed in like to be that you're a god, that you control your own life, and that you shouldn't let somebody else tell you what to do and how to think and all that stuff. Realistically, that's kind of I read it, so it's not as crazy as people think it is. So Satan would make sure that if Ricky's devotion was complete after another joint, maybe laced with PCP. Took a few hits of cocaine. Ricky would go out to the sun, went to look for what he could steal, and he would become an accomplished car thief as well. And there was always the prostitutes he could go to when he had money. He loved the hookers. Richie loved the hookers, man. Loved
someone you don't need to talk to, don't need to pick up. You just pay him $1 and they're yours. And it's like, this is easy. He liked the easy way out is what he likes.
Yeah. For anybody that thinks that a politician is going to save them is the same way of thinking that hooker likes you.
Fuck me. I hate to say it, but you're not wrong.
It's true, man. It's
That's
so
a
weird.
very, very accurate statement.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. There was no way a regular girl could understand the violent sex he craved. Maybe nowadays you'd be like, I'm into this. You want to like play blood play, edge play, playing with knives and shit. Better just to pay a whore. In his eyes, they were all whores anyway. His appearance had changed as well. He was tall and thin with very, very rotten teeth after all of the drugs that he consistently did. The result of drinking.
That's not a real photo.
That's a real photo.
No, it isn't. Because, no,
all right,
go.
Okay, right now. Google Richard Ramirez's teeth. Google it and bring it up on screen. Do it right now.
Before you just carry on your statement there, go back to that photo for a second.
It's enhanced by AI.
That's what's
happening. Okay,
his bottom teeth are in his nose. They are not that long. No bottom teeth go up to people's nose. I will Google it.
Google and bring up on screen. I fucking dare you.
All right.
I dare you. That's his teeth, bro.
All right, one sec. Present.
Okay.
Share screen. Don't show my tips again. Okay.
Did you Google his teeth or what?
Well, do you see my screen?
No.
You can't see my screen?
No, I do not see anything.
What?
Man. Yeah.
Okay, one sec.
Well, if I have to bring it up, I will.
Richard Ramirez. Oh, that's 2 eyes. Real teeth.
He's got chompers, bro. That's a real photo. I told you. It's all over Google. I'm Googling it too.
Big difference. Big difference. You ready?
Yeah.
Look at this difference.
Okay, bring up, or I will bring it up.
I am right now. You see this? Okay. Look at this photo. That's the one you got.
Yeah, that's his real photo. His teeth. He had gnarly teeth, man.
No, wait. Look at the difference.
He has teeth down in jail.
One sec. No. Look at the difference.
Look at down there.
Right here. These are bad. But his bottom teeth aren't in his lip.
He had gnarly teeth. Everybody knows his breath smelled of formaldehyde.
There is a big difference between this nonsense.
That's a real photo. That's a real photo.
It isn't. Look at those teeth.
So.
No, you can see how blurry it is. That's all fucking faded.
As long as the day is long, but his teeth were fucked up.
Do you see my cursor? Do you see my cursor?
Yeah.
That's his bottom tooth. Now look where it ends. Here, my fucking ass. My ass. He has fucking that's a 4-inch tooth, bud. His tooth is bigger than your dick. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, where did Billy keep going? What is happening, man? He keeps clicking off of the stream like a fucking retard that he is. Oh man. Every time. I miss him being in the studio. It made it so much easier. He couldn't leave. Just sitting beside me. Now, what are you doing, man?
I try to do things and it doesn't work.
So there was no way a regular girl could understand the violent sex that he craved. Better just pay a whore, right? So he was tall and thin, very rotten teeth. This is the result of drinking a 6-pack or more of Pepsi and eating a Hershey's chocolate bar for dinner. This is what he was doing. He was drinking a 6-pack of Pepsi a day. Pepsi is filled with horrible garbage and chemicals. If you boil a Coke can, put it with the pop that you're drinking, put it in a pan, boil it. It's nothing but like disgusting syrupy garbage that sits inside your body.
It's really good though. I love it. I love fucking pop so much. If I stop drinking alcohol, I will drink pop that heavily.
Wow, that's sad.
It's so good though. It's the sugar. It's what I'm craving. It's a fucking addiction.
How very serial killer of you.
How very serial killer of me.
So and he even eat a Hershey's chocolate bar for dinner. That's pretty crazy, man.
That's not much of a dinner. That's because he was high. He wasn't hungry.
Yeah. Not many girls would be
fucking put this down, I guess. Like, we'll get over it.
Not many girls will be interested in his lifestyle or be attracted to his wardrobe, all black tees combined with body odor and unwashed hair. You know?
Well, if it's not washed for that long, it starts to be good. You don't get grease if you're not even trying. Your hair is naturally shiny if you stop washing it. You only have to wash it once every month?
I do mine every day, man.
I do mine too, but I've been with you. You remember fucking what's her face?
Yeah.
She only fucking washed her hair once every other week, and her hair was fucking amazing. Like silky,
you have
fucking
natural
smooth.
grease and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about Ricky though. So people stared out of complete fear at times, at others just disgusting glances. He just laughed. Ricky thought it was an attractive to his confidence, his confidence in Satan. Ricky's cousin Mike had been released from the institution. He was in after killing his wife, and Ricky thought about those days a lot. Scott, hey man, you know what? Constantly think about how you killed your cousin. It's like, get
it out of my head. There was that one day, hombre, we were chilling.
You blew her face into pieces.
And you just fucked her right sideways.
So yeah, he missed talking about that. Yes, it's so weird. He missed talking about killing people. What he would like to take how he would like to take someone's life and watch them bleed, as he's seen with his cousin's wife that bled to death. So pretty wild. And in February 1985, 2 separate girls in separate incidences, he abducted them. The first was 6 years old, taken from a bus stop near a school in a laundry bag. He Santa Claus that child, and then molested and dumped her at a nearby location.
Okay.
He literally kidnapped her in a laundry bag. Pretty crazy. And then weeks later, Richard took another girl, 9 years old. This is the one I've always heard about. I actually never heard about the 6-year-old. From her bedroom, like he's Paul Bernardo, just like taking you right from your room. Like that
Guy's
one
wild.
piece. where Paul Bernardo went in that chick's room and then just took her out. Like, that's crazy. Or did it in her room or whatever, then ran out the window. He raped her and then dumped her nearby. There was no one that could supposedly he could confide in about these fantasies and of murdering people, having absolutely no control over them in their final moments of their lives. He roamed the streets of Los Angeles when he could not steal a car, with a Sony Walkman in his ears, listening to heavy metal. So he'd be walking the streets when he couldn't steal a car, and he'd be listening to heavy metal. But back then, heavy metal was his favorite band was AC/DC. It was. He loved AC/DC. Highway to hell. Got that little boy, that boy wearing his boy shorts.
I'm back in the sack with another underage girl.
What's that goof's name? The guy like dances on the stage and does that like.
Don't you call Angus Young a goof?
Yeah, he's a little
Don't
boy.
you call him that? No, he's a good boy.
So weird. So he was rarely without tapes, ranging from Black Sabbath to Iron Maiden. I actually like Iron Maiden. The song Night Prowler was how he saw himself, moving through the darkness while California slept, getting high and stealing what he needed. He finally made his fantasy a reality. On the night. Actually, maybe we do this. We cap it there. We cap it there. Right when he's about to make his fantasy a reality. And then we'll bring it in for part 2. Just hopefully to avoid some of the rain sounds.
You're coming up. I'm looking out the fucking window here. It's
it's a good way to pick up because we're gonna essentially pick it up. The second part will be probably a lot longer than this part, but at least realistically, if we were doing this how I want to do it, if Billy would love this. It'd probably be about 4 hours. So
that's fine. Whatever. We got an hour out, and that's a fantastic way to end that.
Yeah, because he's just about to ramp up. He's about to go in beast mode. Like
Perfect.
Right now is when he's done some, like kind of like Paul Bernardo did. We kind of like brush that surface of starting to rape and get involved with that stuff. And then eventually it leads to more horrific comments because they need to do this where they need to essentially please this whatever's inside of his head, right? That needs to kind of get out. And it seems like it always seems, especially with most serial killers, but especially him, is that I think it's all of them, but that there's this need that they cannot ignore it. And it happens all the time. They can't ignore it. Something happens, and it's like this tick in their head.
That's always my question too. I'm wondering if it turns in from like, okay, look, what's a better way to angle this? Okay, so picture yourself in that situation, and you are the horrible person that just took a 9-year-old girl away, and you just raped her, and then you just killed her, and then I'm more curious about the afterthought after it's all done. I'm wondering if it's like, so like me, like I have addictions to things. It's all done, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, do you feel remorse at that point? Like to yourself? Like you can betray whatever you want to like the public media, and you can try to be the cool guy and like and whatever that, and like who knows, maybe that's what that was. Is like maybe he really did feel bad, but he's just like, no, he's like, this is not how fucking my homeboys do it. No, they want to see me fucking tough. And he goes, no comment, bitch.
Yeah,
and
he's like, well, I think that as weird as it is, I think that Jeffrey Dahmer actually felt bad afterwards somewhat.
Yeah.
That he
but like you leave that situation, you do it, and then you walk home, and you're like, on that walk, are you going, I gotta stop fucking doing this, or are you going, another one bites the dust?
Another one bites the dust. I think at least for Richard Ramirez, because like there's process killers and then there's product killers, right? Process killers are Richard Ramirez, who likes the process of doing it. They enjoy it. And there's product killers like Jeffrey Dahmer, who he just loved hairless chests, right? He wants the chest, he wants the body to like lay on. He wants to hear the heartbeat and then slowly fade away. He wants to lay with the dead bodies. He wants to make them into a cool little art museum for himself. Like if Jeffrey Dahmer had a good like insiders like Podesta and some of these creepy people, like he's friends with Hillary Clinton, they would probably let him like make a whole museum of dead bodies, and they'd all clap. Because me and Brett just did the episode essentially is covering more or less the Illuminati. And we kind of just discussed some of the weird paintings and stuff that they buy. And they'll probably like poop paintings and maggot paintings, and they'll buy paintings made of poop, like the elites, the creepy, like weird rich people.
Made of
paintings
poop.
made out of poop, made of human poopy.
Wild.
Yeah, the weirdest shit they buy. They're like $10,000 for that human poop. What type of poop is it? Is it G poop?
I need to be a part of that community because I want to get rich off pooing on people.
Just shit on a canvas and then try selling it. I'm sure someone will buy it. How's that panty business going for you?
Oh, I never started.
So are you ready? Are you ready to go?
No. I actually, because we're doing a two-parter, yeah. I was gonna, because I got a really fucking good one, and we're saving it for the end of part 2.
Okay, that's fine. So part 2 will be a little longer. We just wanted to scratch the surface of Richard Ramirez's early life. And then we'll be diving into a longer second part, to end this on. Let's just kick it back to...
Who are you?
Just a guy.
I'm just a guy.
So dumb.
Very dumb. But I hope everyone enjoyed this first part. I'm very excited for the second part because we're going to get into the nitty-gritty details of all of his slangs, all of his killings. He is one of the most sadistic serial killers. And
I just wanted to use the word Demore. Or Demore? I don't even know. Oh, buddy, you're even older than me. There's so much slang that's coming out right now that I'm like, I don't know what that means. They're like, you don't know what that means?
I didn't know. What's that? Riz? I didn't know what the fuck that was for a long time. We just called it confidence, people. That's all it was.
You rizzed her up.
Fucking.
Oh, you're way behind. That was funny for you for outing because I'm behind, but that was something I knew like 4 years ago.
So weird. I don't care.
Still today. We should do another episode of all the new Gen Z slang and Gen X slang
for Patreon. It's just so crazy.
That's a good one.
I don't understand that generation. They're shitting in litter boxes in schools. That's a real thing that actually did happen. So
yeah, anyways, we talked about that a couple times.
Yeah, that's on a Patreon episode. So that's how you support us, right? Everybody, the best way to support us is to join Patreon. It's very cheap. And there's a ton of content.
The best way to support us is don't worry about Tom. Find me on Instagram, DM me, and say, "Hey, what's your auto deposit email?" And then you just go to that. That's what we need as a show. No, yes.
There's people that put their PayPals and shit. It's like, here, pay me, send a donation. I'm like, I don't really need that shit. Just like, I'd rather you pay for content.
Doesn't need it. I would like to need it.
You don't need it. Billy will send you a pair of used panties that he will piss
Offer still stands, hands down. Anybody that wants it, done. I will go to Walmart. I will buy a pair. I will piss all over it, and it's yours. $50.
But you can buy merch. You can buy the logo on the Patreon. I always want to push people to buy merch, especially the logo, because there's different designs. I know that people have picked up, but the logo is definitely something. Like I'd rather, and we don't get a lot of money from it, so it's a way of you being able to rep it. Someone's like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt. Where'd you get that?" You're like, "Oh, it's my favorite podcast." Don't listen to it if you're easily offended, but do tell your grandma. She might like it. She might be a little old school. She might be like super into it. Tell all your friends. The best way to actually support the show is to tell everybody that leave 5-star rating reviews, buy merch, join the Patreon, become a real host head. We're
on the end of this anyway, so I don't really care. You ready to
support
see
keeping the
shit?
World strange?
This has been killing me this whole fucking episode. I don't know if you saw me like bugging at this. Look at my fucking skin.
Why is it a little red? It looks a little red.
You see that fucking color difference?
Yeah, what's happening to you? Are you turning into some...
My whole body's burnt to fucking shit.
Why? What were you doing?
I went tubing, and I didn't put sunscreen on. I was out on the river. I lied on the river for no word 5 fucking hours. I just burnt to fucking shit. It hurts. All of it hurts.
Yeah, you're crazy. I don't need sunscreen, man. Don't wear sunscreen unless it's natural, because you're essentially just giving yourself skin cancer by some of the chemicals that are in
You're also
sunscreen.
giving you're also did that is not in necessary. Kate, that's wild.
I'm in moderation, and
you're
yes, there is
also giving yourself skin cancer by not wearing sunscreen or
there is
any sort of
dangerous chemicals in sunscreen.
You are
100%.
right. You are right. There's also very dangerous chemicals in the sun when you are out there for extended periods of
too
time.
long, and get a natural one. There you go. Get one
Sure.
that's not so heavily chemical.
You have to wear something because that will also give you skin cancer.
We're not watching anymore. Like, he called out sunscreen. That's not cool. Yeah, you can get
Fucking
shit.
Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at
wow, you
red
are so red.
fucking hurts.
That's fucked up. It's dangerous. Me and Chelsea went tubing last year, and we both got shit whipped. It was like, it hurt. I came out of the water. And I was like when you they go around, you like fly off the thing and you slam back down the
We're
water.
still on recording. Anyways, I thought we were just chatting. Have a great night, guys.
Yeah, so don't go out of bounds when you're Billy.
Take care. Bye. See you next week.
Support the show, as I said. Let me find the outro somewhere around here. All right. Bye, everybody. Jesus. Stay tuned for part 2, just so you guys know.